All right. Good evening, everybody. The temple doors are open and the cleric is in his confessional. Welcome in, everybody. If you do not know who my name is Alec the Cleric. I am a Wonderlands and Borderlands content creator, a YouTube editor, a podcaster, and an all around funny dad who has no idea what he's doing when he plays games. But we have a great time anyway. This is episode 8 of The Confessional, a show where we interview incredible and interesting people from all walks of life and places. And the best part about this show is that you, as the audience, get to participate in this. All you have to do is be here live every Sunday evening, 8:30 Eastern, in the chat over at twitch.tv/AlecTheCleric, and you can have your questions answered by our guests live. And if you missed the live show, don't worry about it, though. We always put our shows up over on YouTube. You can check it out over there. And if you want to ask questions in the YouTube comments section, if we don't get to your question live on air, you can definitely go ahead and do that there. Also, be sure to check us out on every place that you would download amazing content, whether that be iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, everywhere that you can get amazing podcasts, you can get The Confessional. All right. Enough of this intro garbage. Let's get to our guest. Joining me this week for our 8th episode is an absolutely amazing creator that I am so excited and honored to get the chance to talk to once again. He is a streamer, content creator, Twitch and YouTube partner, master of hilarity, and the aim god of our generation. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Ki11er Six. K6, how you doing this evening, man?
Hey, when are you gonna get your podcast over on MySpace, dude?
Oh, you see, we tried to integrate over to MySpace at one point, but I'm just not emo enough, apparently.
Yeah, you need the little sparkle effects on there.
I lost the ability to put the code in to get the sparkles, and like I couldn't get my top 8 friends looking the way that I wanted to be, and all those.
You gotta bail
bands,
at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want the drama. I just don't want the drama. So
makes perfect sense.
We'll probably skip MySpace, I guess. I don't know. Tom's gonna be very disappointed. But you know, what are we gonna do? Well, welcome in, man. Why don't you give us a quick just a quick start here by telling everyone who you are and what you do, in case someone here is not familiar with you.
All right, well, I'm Ki11er Six. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, and AOL instant messaging. Basically, I play video games. I suck at them, but I make sucking fun. I play video games, so that's what I do.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, can you kind of give us the kind of the Cliff Notes version, or where did your content creation journey begin? Like, where did you get started in all of this?
Yeah, thank you. So I started on Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox 360, and nobody watched anything that I did. I couldn't even get my mom to watch those videos. She was like, nah, they're pretty boring. So I saw a television commercial. I don't know if you guys have heard of this thing. It's called television. It's the weirdest thing, dude. It's kind of like Netflix, but you have commercials.
I've heard myths. About this. Yes.
It was a strange time, but I think I was having dinner, and we sat in front of the TV, and I was eating some spaghetti. It was delicious. But this commercial came on, and it was for Borderlands 2, and it was like the bajillion guns commercial. I don't know if you ever saw the commercial or not.
Yeah.
But it had like that epic music playing in the background, and you see the gunplay, and you see the guns and the loot falling on the ground, and I was like, that looks dope. So me and my buddy Alan, who played Modern Warfare 3 with me, we were like, top 500 in the world with like kill confirmed on Modern Warfare 3, but it was getting to the point where it was stressing me out. Like I was having like heart palpitations and stuff because I was taking it so seriously. So I was like, yeah, I need to quit this game and find something that's not competitive multiplayer. And when I saw that commercial, I was like, I got to try this out. We went and got the midnight release at GameStop, took it home, immediately started playing. And that night, and I've told this story a million times, but that night, me and Alan were playing. He was on Maya and I was on Zero. And we went to that first village where you have to get the power core from the dead robot in Borderlands 2 when you're trying to power up Scooter's Catch a Ride. And Alan somehow got a technical into that area, and he drove up the side of the cliff where there's that hidden porta potty. And I jumped off and punched his car, and it went crashing into the water. And instantly, I was in love because I could kill my teammates. That's how I began, basically. But in terms of like my early content creation on Borderlands, I didn't really make any content there at the beginning when I was playing with Alan. I wasn't even streaming or anything like that. The first video that I made was the glitch into the treasure room tutorial because I saw a video that a guy had posted, and he had no commentary. He didn't explain anything. There was no text on the screen saying what he's doing. So I was like trying to follow his guide so I could glitch back into the treasure room. And I was like, I don't know what this guy's trying to, get across to people. And then when I figured it out, I was like, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to explain this to people so they don't have to like sit here for 30 minutes like I did trying to find like the right spot and all that. So I made the video, posted it, and I shared it on GameFAQs. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of GameFAQs.
I remember GameFAQs.
Yeah, it was around the same time that television commercials existed. So I posted it on GameFAQs, and I think like 20, 30 people came over and watched it. And one of the comments I got was, "You're my new Morgan Freeman." And I thought the dude was messing with me. I was like, "Oh yeah, make fun of my voice." He's like, "No, dude, I love it. I love your voice. You should make more content." And I was like, "Thanks, man. Holy crap. I didn't expect people on the internet to be nice." So I did. I made more videos, and I just kept making them, and it was awesome. NRO still uses GameFAQs according to the chat.
I believe that. I kind of believe that, actually.
Believe it.
100% believe that. So
long story short, that wasn't a very good Cliff Notes, by the way. That was like 30 minutes of the...
It's okay. We'll just go over time. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
We'll cut that.
Yeah, just cut it. Just cut it.
Nothing important there.
I'll give it to the editor. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So obviously, you fell in love with Borderlands. You started making Borderlands content, and for those of you, or for those people that do know you and your content now, you focus 100% on the Borderlands games and the Lands franchise as a whole. What was there anything beyond just like being able to troll your teammates and stuff like that drew you into the games to the point where you decided that was going to be 100% of the focus of your content?
Yeah, so growing up, I played, like all the old NES games, and one of my favorite things was like discovering things in like Castlevania 2. I don't know if you ever played Castlevania 2, but like the first time I played that game, and I discovered that like there was like secret blocks, and then there was like that part where you go to the edge of the water and you do the thing and you get to go underground, and like finding hidden things like that in video games just always gives me like this dopamine rush. And the Borderlands games have that in spades. Like every nook and cranny of the map has something interesting going on, and every time you do a playthrough, I get this question all the time: don't you ever get bored of it, blah blah blah? No, I never get bored of it because every playthrough is something different. Every single one of them. Like, you cannot do an identical playthrough, like, no matter what you try.
Oh, it's true. It's 100% true. And I've been in the franchise a whole lot less time than you have, obviously. But even now, like, I still find new stuff all the time. And it's after thousands of hours in the game. Just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how broad these games are. I love it. I love it. So let's get a couple of questions actually from the community. I've got a couple right here. The first one comes from Chaos Demon. He wants to know, if you could play any game over again with no idea of what happens at all, what game would that be?
Okay, any game. That's a good question. I mean, it would be hard for me to say anything other than Borderlands 2. That game changed me on an emotional level. Like the very first time I went into the Vault of the Warrior, and just the scale of everything, and then you get to fight the main villain at the end, and then you get to fight the warrior, and some chick screaming about lava, and like it was just great, man. Like the very first time I went in there, I was like, this game is everything that I want in a video game. So yeah, reliving that again would be amazing.
Yeah, I believe that. Especially after the amount of years that you've put into Borderlands 2. I mean, being able to go back and experience that for the first time would be Insane. Insane. Six Crow from the chat, he would like to know, what was the first video for you that really took off?
It was actually the treasure room glitch that we talked about.
Yeah.
And I did not expect it to like get 10 views. I was just trying to be helpful to the people that that I always chatted with on GameFAQs. So I was like, here's a video. This explains how to get in there if you guys want to get in there and get some sweet treasure. And before I knew it, I had like 100 YouTube subs off of that video. And then it just amazing. And that's how YouTube works too, man. Like I know a lot of people think that you post a video and tomorrow you're going to be the next big thing on there, but it's a slow, like, get that snowball moving and hope that it picks up momentum. And sometimes you're going to like run into some rocks or something and it's going to slow down. You just gotta keep pushing that snowball until it gets big.
Yeah.
Didn't think that we were going to talk about snowballing, but here we are.
Hey, you get us on a call and it just kind of happens, man. There's no explanation. There's no logical explanation for it. Steam Gray from the chat would like to know, amazing streamer, by the way, Steam Gray. Interviewed him last week. Go check out that last episode if you haven't of the Confessional. But Steam Gray would like to know, when did you first start being called the grandfather/father of the Borderlands community? And what sort of feeling did that bring out in you? And you better not say gas.
I won't say gas. I think it was when I started getting the gray hairs. I think that's when people started referring to me as like the dad. I started getting a little gray here and there. And
yeah.
I think who was it? I think it was I forget who it was now, but somebody accidentally, they were trying to type grandfather or godfather, and they were trying to type Godfather, but they accidentally typed grandfather. And people were like, okay, he's the granddad of Borderlands. Great. I think it's just because I'm old.
Well, I mean, no, you're young and vibrant. But what is that like? Because you are, and I'm interested to hear what you kind of feel about this, because a lot of people do like look to you and like Jolt's dude and a couple of these other guys as like, the kind of the I would want to say the heads of the community. What is that like? Like, what does that feel like do you feel like it's a lot of pressure? Like, what do you feel like personally, knowing that you're kind of having started from where you are to where you are now, being basically the spokesperson of this entire community? What's that like?
I don't see us as like, the spokesperson of the community. Like, I don't know, like, I can't speak for Jolts, obviously, but for me, neither of us, I don't think either of us have really changed at all since like those early days. We make content because we love to make the content. Do we make money off the content? Yeah, sure. But it's not like none of that influences anything about what we do. So when it comes to like how we communicate to the community and the things that we share with the community, it's all about what we love anyhow. That's why Jolts is playing some Borderlands 2. I'm playing some Borderlands 3. It's what we're loving, man.
Absolutely. Everybody play what you love and love what you love.
That's right.
That's great. Big Nath Gaming, he would like to know, if you didn't do Twitch and YouTube, what job would you have been doing? He's been curious about this for a long time, apparently.
Yeah, that's actually an easy one, because I was doing it even while I was making content. I worked professionally as a letterer for DC Comics, Image Comics, did some Disney Comics stuff, worked on Wonder Woman with Jill Thompson over at DC, worked on a Hellboy crossover. You guys have ever heard of Hellboy? That was some fun stuff. I also designed fonts, so I did that right up until I started doing this full time. And I also worked full time at FedEx office for quite some time too. So I was doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little, whatever it took to pay the bills.
Do you think that if YouTube and Twitch hadn't taken off for you, that you'd still be doing comic book lettering and stuff like that? Or
absolutely, yeah. Comic book lettering is it's one of those things that it's surprisingly lucrative, but it's also a lot of hours. Like sometimes I would get sent here's the thing about comic books, and I don't want to like get too deep into this because people probably don't want to hear about that. But here's how it works: the writer writes the script, then the script gets sent to the editor. The editor edits the script. Then it goes to the penciler. The penciler draws the script. Then it goes to the inker. The inker inks over the pencils. Then it goes to the colorist. The colorist adds the color. Then it gets to this guy, the letterer. And by the time it gets to the letter, guess what? They've blown all their deadlines. So they're like, we're going to need this tomorrow.
Oh, God.
And that's when I go, I'm going to need double pay.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that's how I made a lot of money doing comic book lettering.
Honestly, I had no idea, and obviously I grew up in the era when comic books were the thing you did as a kid. I had no idea that the process was that deep just to get a comic book out.
I feel bad for the pencilers because they do like the lion's share of the work, drawing everything. Like all the other aspects are complicated as well, but the artists generally have to like get an entire like 25 to 30 page comic book done in like 10 to 15 days. Yeesh. In order for everybody else to hit their deadlines. And I just can't even imagine trying to draw that many pages in that short of time. Like I don't know how many of you guys have ever drawn. I used to draw as well. So like it would take me like 3 days to draw one page sometimes. So
oh, wow.
I would be really bad at that job.
Oh man, that's great. All right, let's move on real quick here. Arkham's Nightmare would like to know, what was your first PC setup like? And I'm interested in this too. This is a good question.
Yeah, you can actually probably go back and watch some of the early YouTube videos and see when I had webcam on. Out in our living room, I had a Lazy Boy rocker, and Junior had a Lightning McQueen kids table that he would like sit at to eat his meals. Well, I would put my monitor on the Lightning McQueen table, just a single monitor back then, and the computer would be underneath of it. And then I had just like it was a blue snowball microphone. And that's how I did my streams. I would just pull the Lazy Boy over to his little table and I would stream from the Lazy Boy. And there was times when little Precious would be up on top of the rocker and stuff. So.
Oh, that's adorable. and look how far Precious has come now.
I know, man. Now she just sleeps on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Boring. And yells at you for treats at the same time.
Yes. Yep.
Let's see. Let's get another question here for the community before I get to some more of mine. Without a Net would like to know, or first of all, would like to say thank you for letting us take residence on your couch for as long as we have. And the question is, how are you able to keep up with chat as well as you do?
I think I do a pretty bad job sometimes. Not deliberately. Obviously, I try to read everything. What's helped me over like the last couple of years at getting a little bit better than what I was is having multiple monitors. And right now I've got 4 monitors, and I know that's not realistic for everybody. I've been very, very fortunate to be able to do 4 monitors, but even with just 2 monitors, it would be a tremendous help over what I started with. Because back in the day, when it was the little Lightning McQueen table, I also had my MacBook Pro that I did my comic book lettering on. I would open that up and just have chat on that so that I could read what people were typing back then, because it was just a single monitor setup that I had. And it was a pretty slow PC back then, too. It was like I bought it at Best Buy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but having chat like right here helps. And I think Twitch has done really good lately with a lot of the tools that they've added on there. I don't know if you guys have seen, but you have the options now to like highlight first time messages from new people and also highlight things from moderators, which helps me because sometimes moderator extraordinaire Don Anzador is like, he's like, hey dude, hey, psst, hey. So if I look over now, I can see that there's a moderator message from Don Anzador being like, hey, you're screwing up, please fix it.
Please stop.
I get those a lot. Captain Spaulding also has to jump in sometimes and be like, hey dude, what are you doing?
Oh, trust me, Spaulding does the same thing to me, so we're in the same
Ozzo doesn't
boat.
do anything. I don't know if you know this. Ozzo's the worst moderator ever.
That guy. That guy.
Kidding. I love you also.
All right. Well, Hazmat Man 98 from the chat. He would like to know, what would you say was your crowning moment, so to speak? Like, when did you realize that this was your calling?
Crowning moment, or when it was my calling. I don't know that I've had that moment yet. No, okay, I'll say this. So, like, getting the 94 sham and that reaction was like, it was almost like a catalyst for me. Like, it was at that moment that I was like, this is like my job. I get paid to do this. This is unbelievable. And then I will say that probably the moment where I was like, oh crap, I've actually made it, is when I got invited to the LA gameplay reveal event for Borderlands 3.
Oh, yeah.
And just like the scope of that entire thing was so amazing. And I still get goosebumps thinking about it, honestly, because it was so awesome.
That is so cool. That
Like
is
how many game studios like fly hundreds of content creators from all over the world? We're talking like Australia, we're talking, all over the world, to this gameplay event and ask them for their honest takes on it. Like everybody there was like, we need you to give the honest takes, and everybody was, and it was awesome.
That's so cool. I can only imagine what that experience must have been like. Like, that's just, I get goosebumps for you just thinking about what that experience must have been like. So
Yeah.
to have lived it yourself, that is amazing. That is amazing.
And of course there was the Jack Black moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now that was pretty cool too.
That was surreal. That, you know what that was? That was surreal.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Because they told me before he came in there, it was like 15 minutes before, they were like, hey, how would you like to play with a celebrity? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, well, who? And they were like, well, it'll probably be Jack Black. And I was like, yeah. But he didn't have a whole lot of time, and I don't think they really briefed him on what he was going to be doing, because he comes in and he's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. That was actually the very first video I edited for you was
Yes.
you playing with Jack Black, and that was one of the
Memories,
best.
dude.
Oh man, that was one of the best things that I had ever witnessed in my entire life. Oh, I love it. Loopy Lou from the chat would like to know, there must be a backstory to where Donk came from, and if you could please tell us where that comes from.
Sure, yeah. So Donk is a character in Borderlands the pre-sequel, but Donk is also the name of a pistol in Borderlands the pre-sequel. And Borderlands the pre-sequel is like where a lot of my channel memes started like forming, I think, oddly enough. It's strange because like we didn't spend that much time on that game, even though it was a great game. But like we got Donk and shoot, I don't remember what else came from that. But yeah, so the character Donk, which if you guys ever play the pre-sequel, you'll know Donk when you see him. That's all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I love the name. I love the how they had like the leaderboard with all the different names on there, and then Donk was at the bottom, and he was like, has not got here yet, or has not arrived, I think was like everybody else had like this wins loss record, and then Donk was like, has not arrived.
Poor
and then
Donk.
that changes later, but we won't.
Poor Donk. I love that.
Yep.
I love it. Restrife18 would like to know how, and this is actually a really good question too that we ask a lot of our guests. How do you manage streaming and personal life together as one?
Okay, well, I've been very fortunate that I found an awesome editor who will handle, the extracurriculars of editing video. Can we get a plug for that guy?
Nah, we don't need
I'm being told that we can't. I'm being told that we don't have time to do that.
Not.
Okay.
We don't have time for that.
Right.
No,
that's bad news.
Completely
bad
unimportant.
News.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. But no, for me, I treat it like a job. I clock in at a certain time. I clock out at a certain time. Every so often, I'll go beyond the time without telling my editor that I'm going to do that. And then I'm like, I hope he's cool with that.
It usually is.
I mean, I pay him extra when he does that. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's golden. It's golden.
No, that has been like the biggest thing for me is to treat it like a job. Clock in, clock out. Generally don't work weekends. Spend that time strictly doing family stuff. Sometimes we'll, travel in state. Sometimes, we'll do other things. But also it helps, having the evenings with the family. And yeah, I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, I got a follow up to that actually too, just because I know a lot of the people here in the chat are probably aspiring content creators and have not reached the point yet where they're able to make this their full time job. This is more something they do on the side, and a lot of them have family or kids as well. Would you? What advice would you have for people that are in that stage of their content creation journey? Because obviously, when you got started, your family had to be involved in that as well in order
Oh, yeah.
to make that dream a reality. So, what advice would you give to people who are in the kind of the beginning stage of how to manage a streaming hobby or a streaming aspiring career with their family life?
That's a great question. So yeah, like what we were talking about earlier, where I was doing the comic book lettering. I was working at FedEx office. I even took a weekend job like stocking Little Debbie snack cakes on the shelves at Walmart. And all during that same time, I was also streaming and editing my own footage back then because for the first 5 years that I did content, I made basically less money than I would have made just working the drive-through at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with working the drive-through at Taco Bell. If you're paying your bills, be happy, be glad. I'm just saying that the amount of money that I was making, I could have done literally about any other job and made more, because it wasn't until, I mean, honestly, it was about about the time that Borderlands 2 got the Handsome Collection. That's when I started making a little bit of money, and even then, it was like maybe $50 a month at most. That was like if I had a couple of good videos that like did really well. So for me back then, here's how a typical day went. I would wake up and I would take Junior to preschool. I would come home and edit the footage from the night before because I would stream late at night. I would stream like from the time I got home from FedEx office, which is usually like midnight to 1 a.m. somewhere in there, until like 2, 3 in the morning. I would only get 2 to 3 hours of streaming in. And then I would edit in the morning. And then I would also come up with ideas during the daytime while he was at school. And then I would pick him up from preschool. He and I would go to where the wife was working because she worked during the day. He would ride home with her. And then I'd go into my job at FedEx office, rinse, repeat. Didn't get to see my wife as much as I would like to in those years, but still had the weekends every so often. So I guess to answer your question, what would I say? Be prepared to not sleep nearly enough if you truly want it.
Yeah.
Like that's my advice. How bad do you want it? Do you want this to be your full-time thing? It can happen. But are you willing to do 3 hours of sleep a night? Because I was, and it worked out.
That's beautiful. No, and that's great advice for anybody that's willing to do this, and not just content creation either, but anything. Like if you're pursuing anything, like you've got to give it 100% and be willing to sacrifice sleep and time and make sure that you have a partner or family around you that's willing to support you. I mean, that's huge. That's the biggest part of the whole thing. Biggest part. Pascaroni in the chat, he would like to know, if you were to start as a new streamer today, what would you tell yourself to do or what not to do?
What not to do. Number one, and this is the thing that I see a lot of people do very, very wrong, is look at numbers. There's some numbers that you can look at. Like you can look at your analytics and be like, all right, what was I doing during this time when people were tuning in? What was I doing at this time when people were tuning out? And then try and adjust your content accordingly. But while you're streaming, don't look over at how many viewers are watching you. Because let me tell you, when I started streaming, 5 to 10 viewers, same as everybody else. Like at best, 5 to 10 viewers when I started out. Don't stress over that. Just do what you're doing. Stay laser focused on it. Make the best content you can. Be happy. Be yourself on camera. Don't try to be like, some like whoever the big streamers are now. I don't even know. I don't pay attention. But don't try to be somebody else. Just literally be yourself. But I've always taken the approach of pretending like everybody that's watching, whether I know that they're there or not, is with me in the room. Because when I grew up, we played Nintendo in a room with our friends, and I've always tried to pretend like that's exactly what I'm doing when I'm playing Borderlands. Is I've got all these people in here that we're watching, and I'm talking to them, and that's helped me, at least. I don't know if that works for everybody, but that helped me.
Oh no, it totally does. You know, and I think that's why I love when you you know, you end every stream by saying thanks for hanging out on my couch watching me play video games, because that's, you know, that's what we always did as kids, and that
Hmm.
that does make it a lot easier when you think you're just sitting in a room with your friends as opposed to
Hmm.
broadcasting yourself out on the internet for people to watch. You know.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that answer quite a bit. Judge Zid wants to know what experience happened due to being a Twitch partner that would not have happened to you if you weren't a Twitch partner. Or what? Or I'll rephrase it a little bit. Is there one that kind of sticks out in your mind? I mean, I know you mentioned doing the event, the big event that you did before, but are there other experience or notable experiences that you can think of that you got the opportunity to do because of being a Twitch partner?
So the being a Twitch partner, I don't know, has done as much for me as just, being laser focused on Borderlands itself. But um yeah, in terms of like Twitch partnership, and this isn't me like being negative toward Twitch or anything like that. It's just they don't they don't interact a whole lot with the streamers. You know what I mean?
Mm,
That said, becoming a Twitch partner and developing a following, I did get a Twitch partner manager, and they've been nothing short of super nice. But I don't know that a whole lot has opened up for me by being a Twitch partner, other than the monetization stuff.
gotcha.
So don't another thing, don't focus so much on like the I made partner, now everything's gonna just breeze on through. Like, you still got to make your own opportunities.
I feel that. I feel that. I love it. My name is Flip Flop from the chat. Thank you for asking a question. They would like to know what is your favorite of your channel memes? Because you have a lot of really good channel memes, but which one, if you had to pick one, and I know this is like trying
Right.
to choose between your babies, but like,
Right.
which one would you say is your favorite?
Oh man, put me on the spot here. Oh god. Favorite channel meme. Man, there are so many. I mean, obviously the nope with my accuracy, because that's never gonna go away. Uh that one's pretty great. I love Donk, man. There's just something about Donk, and it's Wolves. Wolves is another, that's the more recent one, and I've been getting a lot of YouTube comments like, "What's up with the Wolves thing?" Because they just don't get it, Because I don't think I don't did I post that in? I don't remember if I shared that in the. I think I did, right? Did we
Yeah.
share that in the video?
Yeah,
Okay.
we did. But it was from the late night stream, I think it was.
Yeah.
So it
So
was
yeah,
one that
people
kind of
didn't
got
watch it as much.
a little glossed over there. But
Yeah.
one of these days
Use the fish for cover.
we're just gonna have to make a Killer Six memes explained. Top 10 Killer Six memes explained video.
Yeah, I made one of those videos a while back, but it didn't get so much traction. But yeah, I love the use the fish for cover one too, because that one just happens so organically. I mean, they all have kind of organically happened, and that's why I love them all. But the use the fish for cover was just so stupid, and it caught on so well, and I just don't understand, but I love it. I love them all, man.
Fish for cover probably has to be my favorite too. I'm not gonna lie. Just like it's so recognizable, and it's such a beautiful meme. It's such a beautiful meme. I love that one. Comfortably Dumb in the chat would like to know, how do you find the motivation to stream on days that you just straight up don't feel like it?
Well, I'm gonna dive back into my old mindset for this one, because every day when I wake up now, I'm like, I get paid to do this, and it's unbelievable to me. So it doesn't take a whole lot of motivation when you've made it, so to speak, and that you're gonna pay your bills by just clocking in and having a good time, because it is a good time. But back in the day when I was like, late nights and early mornings and lack of sleep, there would be times where I would have those days where I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this today. But the thing is, just be honest with yourself. If you need a mental break, don't be afraid to take a mental break, guys. Like there would be, multiple days in a row where I would just be like, I just need some time I need to rest and recuperate, and just be honest with your audience, and they understand. People understand when you are not, when you're not feeling yourself. Don't try and just like clock in and do it, because like with this kind of stuff, people know when you're not having a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I'll kind of follow that up a little bit with a question that I ask every guest that we've had, is talking a little bit about burnout and how that affects content creators. And you touched on it a little bit there where you said, take the mental health days that you need and stuff like that. But are there times now, like I know you said your mindset is completely different now that this is your full-time job and what you do, and you love what you do, but are there still times, even loving what you do, that you feel that burnout? And if so, like what do you do specifically to counteract that?
Right. There aren't too many days where I'm just like, there aren't a whole lot of days where I just don't feel like doing it. Probably the closest in recent memory was doing the TD or Moe's playthrough. I don't know what it was. During that playthrough, there was some times early on in that playthrough where I was just like, man, F TD or. I was like, I don't want to go farm no damn TD or stuff today, but no. And then maybe the Postman Zane. I don't know. That one like stressed me out because of the YouTube reaction to it. Like the YouTubers did not understand that the Twitch stuff was by design and it was to be fun. And they were like, those people are assholes. You need to not do that. Like, bro, it's for fun. But no, for the most part, like genuinely, there's very few times where I'm like, I don't feel like doing this today. And I've actually taken a day or two off here and there and just been completely honest with people and said, hey, I'm just going to take a day off. I just need to rest up. So usually for me, it's only like if I, pull really late nights, and that's my own fault. So
Beautiful. Beef Squash 5000 in the chat would like to know, how do you constantly think of so many wonderful ideas to keep your content so fresh?
it's super easy with Borderlands, man. It is so easy. Like literally, I was, I don't want to spoil anything. There's some playthrough ideas that I let's see if anybody like pauses that.
How's your
some
pause
playthrough
game?
ideas that I was writing down earlier today, and I've got like there's like 10 playthroughs right here that I just came up with earlier today. I was like, here's some stuff that I want to do.
There you go.
And it's so easy with Borderlands, man. And for me, especially with Borderlands 3, because like you can make not everything. You can make most everything work. You know what I mean? If you build around stuff, you can definitely make everything work. But I don't know. It's real easy with all of the Borderlands games to just like log in and have a good time.
There you go. That's perfect. We got a comment, actually. This one's from BenMe3331 in the chat. Doesn't have a question, but he just wants us to tell you, K6, that he really loves everything that you do and to keep being the amazing human that you are. And we echo that, too. You just keep being amazing because you absolutely 100% are. So, BenMe, thank you for your kind words there.
I love you, BenMe. Thank you. You guys are awesome, man.
We do our best.
I can't speak for Alec, but I know that I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. I mean, I would still be playing Borderlands games, but I wouldn't be doing, as much as I do if it wasn't for you guys, because I would have to sit right here lettering comics for the next 8 hours right now. But so, yeah, without you guys, there is no content. So thank you.
There you go. Well, hey, thank you. Thank you for all the years of content that you've given us. We can't thank you enough for that.
Pat yourself on the back, Alec. You had a big hand in that.
No. Okay, I'll take a little one. I'll take a little one. Just a quick pitter patter. I'll take it. Steam Gray has a follow-up question too to what he asked earlier. He would like to know, what kind of games do you like to play off stream, if there is anything other than Borderlands, to just kind of chill or let your brain air out? Like, is there anything besides Borderlands games that you like to play?
I'm sorry, I haven't played anything off stream Borderlands for quite some time, but I did play a bunch of Hades. Um, I love the MLB The Show series. I don't know if you guys are into baseball at all. I love baseball. That's something I was passionate about when I was a younger person, and I'm gonna have a love for baseball my entire life. And then there's college football, but unfortunately we haven't had a college football game in a while. But I'm hearing that that's coming back now.
Really?
Now that college athletes can get paid to play, EA Sports is apparently going to bring back college football games because they can now give them some cash monies.
Oh, that would be beautiful. That would be
So
beautiful.
you might see me stream some of that. I don't know. I don't know how crazy I'll get with that. I don't know.
If it comes out, I might wind up playing some of that on stream because
let me add a little something to that real quick.
Go for
so this is something that helped me out again with my early days of streaming. Is I used to, when I would play NCAA college football, I used to play like full seasons and pretend like I was the coach. And like I would like, come up with rosters and all that stuff, and I would talk to myself when I played, and I think that has helped me with the Twitch career.
There you go.
That might be just me showing that I'm crazy. I'm not sure, but
No, I think we all did a little of that. I mean, before, I remember the early like Madden games and stuff like that before they had like coach mode or manager mode, whatever it was that they put into the more recent games where, me and my friends would do exactly that. We would sit there and like, we'd drop a playbook and everything like that for Madden games and stuff. I would pretend to be the coach, Boof.
yeah.
I don't know. That was just
I was obsessive about NCAA college football games, dude.
Oh yeah.
I would put in the rosters manually every year. I would get the new Phil Steele magazine. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Phil Steele. He would like have like the entire roster. So I would like put their numbers in, their names. Like Pat White for WVU was right-handed in the video game, so I'd switch him to be a lefty. All that fun stuff, man. I was obsessed.
I love it. I love it. All right, RNGesus from the chat would like to know, does pineapple go on pizza?
Here's my philosophy on all matters food.
I knew that you would say
do whatever makes you happy, dude. Do whatever makes you happy, but it doesn't go on my pizza.
There you go. Fair enough.
If we split a pizza, it can go on your half. I don't care.
Just send it all my way. I'll eat it.
There you go.
I'll be very happy with it.
Because we're not going to talk about steak.
No, we won't. All right. Here's another one of my favorite questions that I like to ask my guests. Ki11er Six, if you were an ice cream, what flavor would you be and why?
Oh, that's easy. I would be the blueberry vanilla swirl ice cream from Hanna-Barbera Land at Kings Island. And the reason why is because you are what you eat. And I ate a lot of that when I would go to Kings Island. So blueberry vanilla swirl. Oh my God, it's to die for.
Blueberry vanilla swirl. I'm gonna have to find that because
anybody in chat ever had that?
That sounds absolutely delicious.
I ate two of them before we got onto a roller coaster. I was like, I've made terrible life decisions.
Instantly regret all of your choices. Like, just contemplate your life leading up to that point. Oh, I love it. Okanabra from the chat would like to know, you've been doing Twitch for a long time. Do you ever think about people who used to watch you all the time and who don't anymore for whatever reason?
Yes. I actually, sometimes I will go back to old videos that I've like archived and check the chat. And not like, I'll be looking for specific names of like people like Tongue Punch a Fart Box, for example. I don't know if you guys remember Tongue Punch.
Guy. Yeah, I remember Tongue Punch.
Yeah, I will search, and then like when I find them, I will click on their name, and then I'll do like the whisper option, and I will whisper to like check up on them every so often just to see how they're doing. And I have no idea what's going on with Tongue Punch. I miss that guy. But yeah, I check on people, and I get worried when I don't hear from them.
And that's kind of the amazing thing about being a content creator too, as opposed to, because I think a lot of people will make the comparison that, you know, today's Twitch streamers are kind of like the, you know, old school TV and movie stars from back when TV and movie was a new form of media, kind of like Twitch streaming is now. Do you find that, like, even with you being as well known as you are, like, your ability to connect with your viewers is so much stronger because of the medium, like because it's on the internet and everything, that makes it a lot easier?
Yeah, it's literally, well, instantly the kind of thing where, at any moment I can whisper anybody that's in the chat and just be like, hey, I hope you're doing good. And even just being able to like talk to people, on a 5-second delay or whatever we got, but just being able to talk to people, it's great for my mental health as much as it is for some of theirs sometimes, to have somebody to come and hang out and talk to. And I love it, man. I love it. Great medium. We're blessed to have this, honestly.
Oh yeah, big time, big time. I'm very grateful all the time for this medium. Zero the Assassin would like to know, what TV series, if any, is your favorite of all time? And if that is too difficult, maybe we'll make it a little easier for you and say, like, an old show that's your favorite, and then a new show that's your favorite.
Okay, all right. I gotta say, one of the shows that was like my first show that got me hooked on watching like a series was Lost. Oh my God. Week in, week out, me and Killer B were tuned in. We would record episodes on VHS. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then like not long after that, I discovered the joy of The Wire on HBO. I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Wire. That is one of the greatest shows to ever exist, and it actually had a really decent ending. And like more recently, love The Boys. Oh my God, I could watch that anytime. Then also there's obviously Breaking Bad is a classic now.
Yep.
I don't know. And then if you want to like go to like a really old show that I love and I could watch anytime, Sanford and Son.
Wow.
Dude, love the Nikes out of Sanford and Son. I could watch that any day, anytime, any day.
I
Love Fred
remember
Sanford.
watching that. I remember watching that just at like my grandparents' house and stuff, because they only had like 2 channels and one of them was TV Land.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I remember watching Sanford and Sons and Gilligan's Island, all of those. So
Yeah.
I
Grew up on
remember that.
Gilligan's Island. When I would be sick, home from school, sick, I would eat some soup and watch Gilligan's Island during the day.
No, that was The Price is Right for me. It was.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah.
soup.
That would come on after the Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Smitty Bones would like to know, will we ever see a Killer Bee weekend playthrough?
She and I have talked about this, and I recently upgraded her PC. So because her PC, let me tell you guys, oh my God, you talk about a PC, like, I don't know if you guys ever watched the IT Crowd.
Yes.
There's a character on the IT Crowd named Jen, and there's this scene where one of the guys goes into her office and he's like, what is that? I haven't even seen that virus in like 10 years. her PC wasn't filled with viruses or anything. It was just like clunky slow. So I upgraded hers with the power GPU PC, by the way. Free plug. Not being paid to say that. But yeah, I upgraded her PC, and she and I talked about it. And I was like, you think you'd want to do a playthrough at some point? And she's like, yeah, maybe. And so, yeah, it's on the table. And I will say this. If it happens, it would probably be in the new year. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right. Well, we'll keep that close to the chest then. But that's exciting. I know that everybody always loves when Killer Bee comes on and does her gun pronunciations and everything else. So I'm sure getting to
she got a new prescription recently. So I don't know if you guys saw the last time she was on stream. She read everything perfectly, and I was like, you're ruining my content. Like, you need to take your glasses off if you come in here.
You just killed the show, B. You killed the show. I love it. I love it. Let's see. I've got one more question here from Steam Gray. They would like to know, how much would you say let me start over, rephrase that a little bit. Given your love of good humor and a good joke, how much would you say that having a good sense of humor matters as a streamer? Not just to you, but like overall.
That's a great question. And I would say that you really should have a good sense of humor because you're going to be exposed to a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life. And some of those people are going to be like, maybe socially awkward is the best way to phrase it. And maybe they are going to say things to you that could hurt your feelings, but sometimes it's best to just smile and make a joke and like move on. You know what I mean? But for me, it's helped tremendously, especially mental health wise when it comes to like some of the trolls and things like that, because that's inevitable for everybody that does this kind of stuff. You're going to have those people that just want to try and tear you down or try and make fun of you or whatever. And it's like, I just let it roll off me for the most part.
Yeah. No, what
Having
about
a good sense of humor helps.
Yeah, and what about the times where it doesn't roll off quite as easily? Because I mean, obviously, we're all human. There has to be a point where everybody reaches a limit. Like,
Oh yeah.
how do you have any advice for people like what to do when they hit that limit? Because obviously, the internet can be as wonderful it is as it is. It can be a absolutely horrific place at the same time. So, like, what advice would you give to those people?
Oh, that's a great question. So this is something that's ever evolving for me, and it's something that I've struggled not to feed the trolls. You know what I mean? Like, and you've seen this as the guy who has to edit my footage. You've seen times where I give the trolls more food than they deserve, and there's times where I just literally crap down their throats. But something that I've been working on trying to get better at is just the block and move on. And I did that the other day. I can't even remember. The guy like made a reference to me being fat or something like that, and I was just like, all right, block, have a good day. And that was that. Moved on with our lives.
And that's so hard to do, isn't it? Like, I mean, I know it
used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be. But you know what? As I've done this more and more, I'm like, those people are just out there, dude. You know, like, who cares?
God,
Let them be miserable if they want, but I'm freaking happy as hell, dude.
That is such a and that's so awesome that you're able to reach that mindset, because that is not, for me, and this is just me speaking personally myself, like that is not a mindset that I have an easy time reaching. Like, I'm working on that. I'm trying to get a lot better. You can ask Mother Stacy. Like, I'm really working on my ability to just like to not take everything so personally or whatever, or not try to be everybody's friend. Like, there are just some people you're not going to be able to be friends with, you know, but like that's it takes a long time to get to that state of being able to just kind of like water off the duck's back, you know,
like a decade.
Yeah, there you go. So anybody that's out there struggling, don't worry. It took Killer Six a decade to get to where he is now.
Block and move on, guys. Just have a good time. If people want to be, if they want to be jerks to you, then you're better off just blocking them anyhow. It's not like you're going to convert anybody. That's like, you know, having seen all these like Twitter arguments about politics and this and that, I can tell you, you're not going to change anybody about anything. If somebody comes in and they're like, you suck at video games, you're not going to be like, well, actually, I'm not too bad. And then you explain it out to them and they're like, oh, you know what? You're right. No, they're going to continue to say, you can like go on like a sniping montage after they say that. And they'll be like, no, you still suck. So you just block them and live happily ever after.
Yeah, life's too short, right? Life's too short to deal with that kind of garbage.
Exactly.
Absolutely too short for that crap.
That's why I miss all my shots on purpose.
Oh yeah, obviously. Chat, you had no idea, but all of that is on purpose. Actually, it's all edited in reverse. Like, he's actually hitting all of those shots. I'm the one that makes it look like he's missing everything.
Yeah, I pay him to make it look that way.
Here's a question actually from Mother Stacy. She would like to know, will we ever get an Alec and K6 made collab stream? Why did you ask this question?
If I can wear a maid outfit that is all green.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Because you use a green screen and I don't. Big brain plays right there. Big brain plays. I love it.
I'll say that I'm wearing it. You won't know.
Yeah, we'll have no idea. For all you guys know, he wears a maid outfit every single time that you can't see what he's wearing. That's all you know. And knowing is half the battle. Oh man, Killer Six, this has been an absolutely amazing conversation with you, man. I really enjoyed having you on. I'd like to do this for all of our guests, but this is just kind of the shameless plug portion of the show. So please, where can people go to find out more about you, find out more about your content, and also support your content?
Okay, well, the best way to support my content is to go to twitch.tv/AlecTheCleric and hit the follow button. And then if you have Amazon Prime, make sure you click on the subscribe button and choose your free sub option. Help support the man that makes me look good. But no, I go by Killer Six everywhere. Instagram's the only place where it's a little bit weird. There's a underscore between Killer and Six, but the Killer is always with 2 1s instead of L's because I am a dork.
Hey, no, you were on the internet during the right time, man.
I was on the internet during the let's put numbers in our name phase. What are you gonna do?
Back to those MySpace days, Back to those MySpace days. Beautiful. Well, that is all the time that we have for tonight in the confessional this evening, so it's time for us to close the curtain on the booth for now, but I just want to thank Killer Six again for coming and speaking with us. If you, as the viewer, have more questions, I know we didn't get to everybody, but if you have more questions that you would like to ask, please go ahead and leave a comment on the video if you are joining us on YouTube, or if you're joining us in audio format on your favorite podcasting site, please leave us a review. We would love to hear from you and get those questions answered. Thank you again, everyone. Remember, be excellent to each other. And we'll see you guys next time.